Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast. I'm Rebecca. I'm joined here with Donnie. Welcome back, Donnie. I missed you.
Hello. Thank you. I missed you too. I'm here a week early as Delvin bowed out. He's like, I can't podcast for a while. And I was like, does this mean I have to come back already? He's like, unfortunately it does.
He was so sick of me, Donnie. That's why.
You ran him off?
I did. No, it was very enjoyable podcasting with Delvin. I love him. He's awesome.
He might come back more often. I think he would like to do some light Nintendo podcasting. Mm-hmm. And I think with me playing so many things not Nintendo, I think it'd probably be wise for us to maybe do like a rotation of sorts and maybe get back to having a 3-person show every now and again. But he might be we might do a tag team Shack effort.
But he's a good one. I think he brings a lot of positivity to the show. He brings a lot of humor to the show.
Well, Shackers, I hope you had your fun.
No, Delvin's good. He's a good guy. And he plays more Nintendo things than I was expecting him to play. I don't know why I thought that he didn't play as many.
He doesn't.
Nintendo stuff. He plays kind of a mix of everything, though.
Well, that's probably true. Yeah. He samples everything. Put it that way.
Yeah. Which is good. Yeah. It's good to keep an open mind.
Don't hate him.
Yeah. I have some big news.
Uh-oh.
I beat Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, that is big news.
Yeah.
So
after the show, it was actually a week from today, Sunday night. I was playing and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it.
Yep.
Is this officially like a spoiler cast? Like, am I putting out here like if you don't want to hear about
like
I
think at this point it's open season. Like the game has done come and gone, and everybody has said what needed to be said.
I know several people who have not yet finished the game, so I just want to put that out there, just as a warning that I am going to talk about the end game for the next few minutes. If you want to skip ahead in the podcast, I loved it. I loved it a lot. I over prepared, like, you know me, like I didn't do a lot of shrines. I didn't have that many hearts, so it took me like a while to do kind of like the lead up to it, like going down into the depths and putting together the robot. I did that all like kind of spread out, like I didn't do that all at once. I thought that part was cool, but it was like too long putting together Minoru. What's her name?
Yeah,
Minoru.
Yep. That's like, the point of the game where I was like really starting to feel like I was kind of over it.
I think I remember you saying there was a part where you're like, okay, like, yeah, and I think it was at that part.
This can end now. Like we can move on. Like I kind of hate doing this. I'm tired. I
kind of wish it was like the arms together and the legs.
It's too much, but
4 was too many.
4 is too many, but it should have been more fun putting the individual pieces together. Like it's supposed to be a dungeon and a temple and it's its own thing. And it's like, oh no, you're just going to walk over here and do this thing you've done 100 times already again. And then knowing that you had to put the other limbs together too, I was like, oh God, this is a nightmare. I was over it by then.
Use it like I tried to put like a one of those floating platforms between like in the doorway so that when the door comes down, like
that's smart.
Stop. It didn't work.
Of course not. Yeah.
Of course not. They planned for that, but by this point in the game, like I felt like I don't know. I didn't do any of them the way they were intended to do. I was like, I just want to get through this as quick as possible. Like I attached rockets to some of them and just blasted them across like the gaps. Like
I did that. Yeah.
Like I'm not putting together this circuit of wheels. Like, no.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was feeling. I was just like, dude, we get it. And I feel like I don't know. because it was at the end of the dungeons, like you had to get them all before you could even get here. You can't even like make the excuse that like you could do it out of order. It's like we played all of this game to this point, and like this was the thing that they made us do, like busy work.
Yeah.
I was like, this should have been, the design was lacking. Like it was poor in like design. And that just really bummed me out. But yeah, it paid off with the wrestling match. Like I was like, okay, this was kind of cool.
Cool. That fight was cool. I
Yeah.
like mechanics of like, being able to fuse something to each arm and like kind of have each one move
Yeah.
independently from each other. I just wish that I wish she moved faster, because trucking like across that one part where you had to like truck across to get the secret stone, it took forever because she like trudges along so slow.
Yep.
Yeah. So that part, I think I wish there were some changes too. But then I went to go fight Ganondorf, and I over prepared for that because I made sure I had like a lot of healing, a lot of the gloom healing, like you had said.
Yeah, that was necessary.
A lot of defense up, a lot of attack up, a lot of like really powerful swords and stuff. And so it was an easy fight for me. I don't know if other people felt the same way because I was so over prepared. Yeah, with Ganondorf.
That's yeah, I didn't feel that way. Like the first time I got there, it was a slog like getting there. Like it was rough just getting there. And then when I got there, I was like, oh no. Because I'm in bad shape.
The army beforehand is supposed to use all your resources, and it did use a lot of my resources.
For my first time, but I wasn't prepared though. I mean, that being the difference, I just wasn't prepared. I didn't have the gloom armor. I didn't have gloom healing stuff. Like when I got there, I was in rough shape. I had like 5 hits, and then Ganon like zipped over, and I was like, oh, this is not like Breath of the Wild at all.
Yeah.
And I had to prepare. And then when I came back, I still never got the gloom armor. After my first fight, I went to YouTube, and somebody was like, you need the gloom armor. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Well, I'm not going to go do that. So I just prepared like a ton of gloom meals. And that got me through the fight. I just kind of cheesed it from there, just using a bunch of healing items.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I healed way too much. I'm very glad that I had all 5 of the partners, the sages, to help with the army rush.
Yeah.
Because
fun.
I felt like they, kind of took care of everybody. I was able to I used the dazzle fruit or whatever to just stun everybody, and then all my friends went to town on them. And then I used a lot of the muddle. What are the things that you hit at them and then they turn on each other?
I don't even remember.
Muddle buds
at this point, it's been
like
3 months since I've played it, almost.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say before we just talk about the ending, after having done the Manuru and the Shadow Temple and everything, I was like, man, why couldn't they have given us like Mecha Link earlier in the game and let us do more with that?
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Right? Like I felt like that was another part of that. That Shadow Temple was a huge thumbs down for me. It was really just a very upsetting point before I reached the end of the game. It's good that the end of the game I enjoyed as much as I did, because had I not, I would have been harder on the game, because that was just I was after everything I did, this is what we're doing. Oh my God. I was so upset, especially because Mecha Link would have been awesome. That would have been a new way to interact with that world.
I think they probably didn't want you to be so overpowered early on.
Because you think about storming some of those keeps and stuff. That's just Mecha Link. Instead of trying to build something, you just start walking in and just punching things in the face. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. I think you are more critical of it than I was. I was just whatever. I loved the Ganon fight, especially the very last phase. So I don't know if I'm just stupid, but I did not see it coming where Ganondorf swallows the stone and becomes the dragon.
No, I didn't.
I was like, what? Oh my God! Which I should have. It's so obvious in hindsight.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't see it coming either. But I'm never also I'm never that way. Like I'm never like trying to figure it out as I go. Like I'm always just like
Yeah.
trying to. I'm along for the ride. I'm trying to experience what what's about to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was like dumbstruck by it. My jaw hit the floor, and then I'm like, this is so cool. And then like at first I thought we were gonna get to control Zelda Dragon and like fight dragon to dragon.
Dragon
Like
to
I thought that
dragon.
was gonna be like our playable Zelda.
If Platinum made it,
Um
that's
oh
what
my
would have
god,
happened.
could you imagine that? And then like breathing like light fire on the dragon.
That's very Bayonetta.
But the way they did it was very cool though, because it felt like, okay, this is a fight where I'm working alongside Zelda in a way, kind of Wind Waker-esque, where like she lines you up and then like you go in for the kill kind of
Yeah.
thing. I loved the music during it, and like that part they were very forgiving on the health. Like I'm pretty sure like it once you were on Zelda, like it healed your
It did.
glue
Mhm.
parts.
Yep.
So that part was a lot more forgiving, and I think that's kind of like the point where they're like, okay, like you beat the hard part of the fight. This is more of like the cinematic fight.
Yeah.
We're gonna be easy.
I
on
wanted
you.
to say I think I died once, and I think it just brought you back to that moment. You didn't have to do the whole thing over.
Okay,
So it
that's
was
pretty
forgiving. Yeah, it's not like you had to
Yeah.
go all the way back to the beginning and fight Ganon
Mm.
and do all that. Like it just started you back at the dragon.
I feel like I'm part of me is grateful for the checkpoints in this game, but I feel like that's really forgiving. Like I feel like older Zelda games, it would have took you all the way back.
Yeah, they definitely would not have. But I think that's them acknowledging that like as much as the system allows you to like choose your own difficulty with preparation, I think they
Mhm.
realize that like they made the final act of the game much harder than before. Like
True.
between
Well, did they?
between like exploring the depths and the gloom and fighting all the
Yeah.
enemies and then fighting Ganon and then doing the dragons, I think they were just like, let's throw in a little something here.
So in Ocarina of Time, when
And you don't have to choose to do them, right? Like you can, if you want to
Right.
make it
You
harder
can
on
skip 'em.
yourself, like you can just go in and try to fight it.
Yeah. If you die to Ganon in Ocarina of Time, does it make you go all the way back to the Ganondorf fight, or do you start at Ganon? I don't expect you to remember that, but I'm putting that out there.
I think you start at Ganon.
Okay.
I
Because
think.
I'm trying to remember like how forgiving that game was.
Like if you die at the end, like don't you just restart like at the Rainbow Bridge and like do the whole thing again?
Oh, I don't know.
I think so. I don't remember.
Me neither. But that's
Alright.
that's a good question for the community to ponder. Somebody out there knows. Yeah, but the dragon part was so cool. I love that part. I feel like in this game there are a lot of plot holes, and I'm trying not to think about it too hard. I think it is a little bit like, I mean, obviously they were going to bring Zelda back from being a dragon,
Yeah.
but like it's kind of stupid that they did.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It
I
was
want to know why
was slightly
Zelda
cheap.
didn't warn Raru in the very beginning that all of that was going to happen, that Ganondorf was going to be revived. Like,
You know how I am with
levels that I have issues with.
you know how I feel about games of time travel. And we talked about
I
this when
love time
Calamity
travel.
happened, and I was just like, I'm not even going to think on this too much. I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. It's got time travel, and they decided not to kill him. And you know what? Okay, like let's just accept it for what it is.
Like, there's a lot of things in like, I don't know.
They make such a big deal out of Zelda's sacrifice, only to, of course, unwind it all. And it's just like, all right. But I don't want that. That took nothing away from how I felt about the ending. I honestly think it's probably my favorite Zelda ending of all time because of the epicness. It was, and
me
you talk
too.
the music. It was
Yes.
incredible and anime and beautiful and fun and grand and like a huge scale. And I was like, this is the best way I think I've ever ended a Zelda game.
Also, what I want to know is if swallowing the secret stone makes you an immortal dragon, why were they able to defeat Ganondorf as a dragon? He should
fair.
have been immortal.
Maybe he is.
But you saw him blow up in an atomic explosion at the
You
end.
don't know what could happen in the next one. There's a drop of gloom somewhere, and it just resurrects.
Also,
You
does
don't
that
know.
mean that Zelda in her human form is immortal?
Yeah, I think so. But we'll find out. Like, who knows? I honestly don't know. It's kind of a mess.
I loved this game. I loved the ending. It was so good.
The ending was incredible. I think my favorite Zelda ending before this was Wind Waker, and this was significantly better. And I loved Wind Waker's ending.
I don't know if it's just like the recency of it that's making me call it my favorite, but that's how I'm feeling right now. So we'll see.
Yeah,
How I feel.
I just, when I completed the game and I came and talked to you, I told you that's just how I felt in that moment. And I don't think it was recency at all. Like, to me, it was like by a large margin.
Okay.
Like, I was just like, this is like, while I was doing it, I was like, this is excellent. Because I was just, I was thinking, I was like, people that want like harder Zelda games and like combat, right? And there's a whole swath of people that play Breath of the Wild for like Lionel fights and incredible, like they're gonna love that Ganon fight. They're gonna have a blast, right? And then you do the dragon stuff on top of it, and then you have like the whole ending and like the scale and the epicness. Yeah, like I was just like this, like they really got into their bag and like really went for it. And it's such a drastic improvement over Breath of the Wild's ending.
Yeah,
like by far and away. It's not even close. And yeah, I mean, I haven't beat every Zelda game, but I've beaten a lot of them, and I really loved Shogun Ganon. I thought it was super fun, but it's just not on the same scale as this one. Like this one just is a lot more.
I definitely feel like Ganondorf seemed the most evil and strongest that he has ever been.
He's the star of the show in this game. Like, he's the star.
Yeah.
Yeah. His character drives the narrative and the story and the tension. Like, he is it. He's the focus.
Also, I want to say that this is my favorite incarnation of Zelda, the princess. I have a lot of like competing ones that I really like, but she is so good, and I really dig her short hair, and I dig her character, and just like
you're really on this haircut.
I am. It does, and haircut can do a lot for a girl. I'm just saying. Also,
I agree with you.
You can see like how she's more confident in this game than she is in Breath of the Wild, but also like the uncertainty like is still kind of there inside of her, like inwardly, I guess, but outwardly she's like a little bit more confident.
Sure.
So like character growth. Oh
yeah,
so good.
No, I'm with that. That's good. Yeah, I wish there would have been, you know, I've said this a bunch already, but since we're wrapping this up, I'll just like to reiterate it, but I won't belabor the point. I wish there was more narrative and more story throughout, to, I think, outweigh or balance the gameplay elements of the game and like the design of the game. I felt like not lacking, but just not enough. You know, like if the ratios, I just think the ratios were off. Like if you were drawing a pie chart, you know, like the narrative and the acts are too small, too few.
Yeah, I think Nintendo doesn't yet know how to do that with an open world, because you can do things in any order, you can skip things, and I think they haven't really mastered the storytelling when you're doing things in an open setting like that.
It's probably a good point, yeah.
They could learn from other open world games, I think, in that regard.
Probably.
But yeah, I'm going to keep returning to the game just casually. I don't want to like overdo it. I'm going to just like jump in whenever I feel like to do some more shrines, do some more side quests. There's still more things that I want to do in the game. So like, I'm not done with it. I'm still ready to put lots of more hours into this game. Like, this is going to be my game until the next Zelda game.
An ongoing thing. I've thought about going back and at least doing some of the town missions, and I just haven't. And to be honest with you, I don't think I will. You know, I said it then, as much as I love the ending, I don't necessarily love the game. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's my favorite. So we have to like put things at it at all. It's my favorite game that I've played so far this year. It's just not like, I'm just not like Breath of the Wild amazed over it, or Wind Waker, or, you know, it's just not like that to me. So I don't think I'm going, I don't know, like maybe it'll be interesting to see if and when DLC drops, what that does for me. because like at the moment I really have no interest. And
Yeah.
that could change if they do something really cool. But like if it's, I'll say this, if the DLC is similar to what we got with Breath of the Wild's DLC, at the moment I would predict me just kind of maybe just skipping it. If it's the same, you know, if it's like Master Sword Trials and like a bike and stuff, like I'm okay. If it's
don't
like
think it'll be the
story
same.
expansion, maybe, you know, maybe.
I think
Maybe
it's
I'd
going to
go
be
with it.
better than Breath of the Wilds because the game, I feel like, expanded on the things that we had problems with in Breath of the Wild. And I think this will too, the DLC.
Sorry, I was reading something that Spagoop says it was his favorite game of the year. But
Ah.
then Pikmin 4 came out.
Valid, completely valid.
Mm.
I feel that.
I'm glad you
Pikmin
finished
4
it.
was such a blur for me. Yeah, it was time. I needed to do that before the fall, before the school year started.
Are you back in
What have
class?
you been up to? So I went in my office a couple times last week, had a couple meetings. We officially start this week.
Yeah, I'm often reminded when I talk to my family just how different I guess the North and the South are. That makes
Yeah.
sense to me because when I was a kid, we didn't go back till like basically like September. My kids have been in school for weeks. My
That's
daughter,
crazy.
they did a football game last night. Like they were like, you know, like or the night before last night, just band playing the football game. I think it was like their second or third game. Like it wasn't even
Wow.
their first
Yeah.
game. They've been playing. So yeah,
Yeah.
different.
See, not all of our schools have air conditioning, so they can't bring us back too early.
Sure, that makes sense. It's still too hot for all that. It was like 102
Yeah.
degrees here yesterday. It was insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been up
Um,
to?
Yeah, I've been playing stuff, not really with any like particular focus. I've just been dabbling with things. I think I'm just kind of holding off until I get ready to start my Cyberpunk run again, leading up to its expansion and upgrade. But I have been playing some games. I beat Kirby, Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
Oh,
I beat it last like week, maybe 10 days ago.
okay.
What happened was a couple weeks ago, the power went out and I didn't have power for an extended period of time, like 12 hours. So to keep
Wow.
us entertained, we were basically left to whatever devices had batteries in them.
Oh,
And it was under that extreme duress where I was like, well, I guess I'll pull out the Switch and
Wow.
play something. So I started playing Kirby and I made up a lot of ground. Like I got to like I was not stuck, but like just not when I basically stopped playing and I was like in this water level where you had to like swim everywhere. And I just didn't like that. Like it just kind of isn't Kirby. You know, and like for them to have like a whole world of it, I was just like, I think it just kind of, you know, it made me not want to play it. So I just kind of stopped playing it. But
Yeah.
I got through it pretty quickly. And then I got through the ice world and the next world. So I just got moving on it. I didn't like go to collect everything either. At that point, I was just like, let's just try to finish the levels and see if I can't, you know, at least get through the campaign.
Usually how I am.
So I enjoyed it. I liked it quite a bit. I am playing one game that just came out on Switch. I'm playing it on the Ally, and it's probably making some buzz in Nintendo land here recently. It's called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
So I feel like that game, like you say that, and I feel like it sounds familiar, but then I don't know if it's like I'm thinking of like Cyberpunk.
Sure.
There's like another bomb.
Alliteration.
There's like a bomb rush game, or like Hi-Fi Rush, or like
Sure.
it sounds like the title of like 15 other games.
Yeah.
Continue.
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is an indie game that we've seen, I believe, at Indie Directs and other showcases, and it's Jet Set Radio. Like it's just Jet Set. Like if you've ever played that, like that's what it is. I've talked about it a lot this week already, so I won't belabor the point. I like it. I don't love it. I think it's pretty good. I think if you're a Jet Set fan, and or if you really enjoy like Tony Hawk, I think you'll love this game because it's like Tony Hawk but like cel shaded graphics and stuff. The loop of the game is that you skate around and you like tag stuff like graffiti. You tag like walls and signs and billboards and stuff like that as you skate around and do tricks. And then if you do enough tagging, then you unlock like a battle with the crew that runs that area. And then you have to do like some challenges against them. And then when you do those, then you unlock like a boss fight, and then you unlock like a score off where you like try to outpoint the other crew. And then you take over that crew's territory. Ultimately, I think my biggest knock against the game is I think is the price. I think it's expensive for what it is and for what people expect. It's $40.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
You know, it's a little high, I think, for most people when it comes to indie games, but I do think it's worth it. Like, it's good. It's a well-made game. There's a lot of, you can just tell like there's a lot of polish here. Unlike some other indie games that you might be thinking of like this, it has a really good story, which I did not expect happening. It's like really cyberpunky, like dude's head gets cut off and you're like trying to get your head back, and and it's very stylish. It's got all like this hip hop love, and you know, it's very cool. But the combat that you do these boss fights in, the combat is just awful. Like, it is just not good. It's bad. So, it's just kind of like, I enjoy playing it when I'm in the open area, skating around, tagging things. It's a lot of fun. You know, I'm trying to figure out like, how do you get to the rail that's up in the sky to get to the thing that you can get the collectible or get to that billboard, trying to uncover
like a little
those
sandboxy.
Yeah. Trying to uncover those little environmental puzzles, because they're like secret things. You may have to like hit a ramp and then hit a jump and then grind to like a rooftop to hit the other side to get to that rail, to get to that board. That's a lot of fun. I love that type of stuff. Kind of like Sonic Frontiers in that way. It's when you get into the combat and you do these boss fights, that's when I'm like, I don't even know if I want to play this game. So it's bittersweet for me, right? There's like a tale of two sides here. There's moments where I love this game. Then there's moments where I don't even want to play it anymore. So I'm a little mixed on it. But I am enjoying it. I bought this game on Fanatical, which is like my favorite place to buy games.
What is that?
Fanatical is a website that you can buy like Steam keys. They sell PC games. The cool thing about Fanatical is that they do bundles a lot. They have a whole bundles page where you can buy games by by the dozen. They'll just throw you like 20 games for like $15. So I do a lot of that often. But when you buy things from them a lot, you'll get like secret promo codes or secret coupons, or they'll throw in like free mystery games and things like that. So when my Cyberpunk deal came through, I got 2 mystery games that I added on for like $1.50. And those 2 games were Teslagrad Remastered and Teslagrad 2, which just released on Switch. Have you ever played Teslagrad? You ever heard of it?
No. I knew that existed, but I didn't know there was a sequel.
Yeah, I played Teslagrad 2 on Teslagrad on Wii U, and really liked it. Because back then in those days, an indie release was like a marquee release for Wii U. Like, having a new game that hit Wii U, we're like, guys, you got to play it, otherwise you have nothing else to play. So I played Teslagrad on Wii U and liked it a lot, and really wasn't that interested in Teslagrad 2. I remember it was announced, but I got both of them for, I said, $1.50. So I played Teslagrad 2 as well in the Ally, and it's gorgeous. They're short games. Like, you can beat it. If you can beat it, it's challenging. If you can beat it, you can probably beat it in a couple hours. But it's got like some weird platforming, like wonky physics, man, because like Tesla is all like, father of electricity and all that. So when you're doing this game, there's a lot of like electric current, like magnesis type of like attract and repel magnetic type stuff, like force fields. So it's different than your standard platformer for sure. Like, there's a lot of these levels where or I won't say levels. There are sections of levels where you fly, like you kind of fly, but like the whole point is, there'll be like a red area that you repel from and a blue area that you attract to, and you're trying to do both, so you stay in the middle and not hit like the things around you. It's kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it
sounds like very complex.
It is.
I would get overwhelmed.
And they've got like this Norse Viking kind of like land and layout, and it's nice. It's pretty. I bet it's gorgeous on the OLED. I mean, I bet it just really pops off the page, but
Yes.
I like it. I wouldn't like go and like recommend it to everybody. I don't think it's for everybody. If you're really into platformers and you're looking for something new, I think you can give it a shot. It's challenging. It challenged me. And
Yeah.
and I think
Not a
it's-
Rebecca game at all.
Yarden says fanatical is crack. He's right.
Oh god.
I
I
always
just Googled it so I could come back to it.
I always tell people, yeah, I buy games on it. Like I buy games by the bucket. I never just buy a game anymore. I always go to Fanatical, and if I'm buying a game, then I'll throw in like a mystery bundle. Or if I'm buying a bundle, I'll throw in an extra game. I just buy games like 10, 12,
So
15
it's not
at a time.
that it's games for cheaper, but you get like extra stuff.
They are cheaper. I mean, I also save money. Like Bomber
How did they get
Cyberpunk.
keys and then able to sell them for cheaper?
I don't know. Maybe they have a good track record of actually moving product. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like
I don't know.
so, when I bought Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, it's like I said, it's $39.99. I got it Fanatical for $32.50, and I think that's because I had a promo. Because like if you use the system a lot, you'll get promos to save 5, 10, 20% off your next purchase. You'll save 10% off a pre-order. Like every time you throw stuff in, there's like little discounts and codes. Oftentimes with Fanatical, if you pre-order a new game on PC, you'll save money. So like a brand new game that's coming out at $60 or $70, you'll probably get a Fanatical for like $56.99 or
Okay.
$52.99. It's like that's kind of
save
their
a couple
thing.
bucks.
Yeah, you save a couple dollars. So that's
Yeah, I'll have to
it.
check it out.
I'm playing WWE right now. I'm playing Madden right now, but I'm playing those on other consoles. But those are like kind of the things that I'm playing that are Switch adjacent.
Okay, cool. Are we ready to jump into this week in Nintendo?
Let's do it.
Some unheartfelt things about him, but no, this is the end of an era. Charles Martinet has been the voice of Mario in games dating back to the Super Nintendo. He also has voices in Super Punch-Out, Skies of Arcadia Legends, The Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Dragon Ball Legend. Huge voice actor, but of course he's most well known for the voice of Mario. He created the voice of Mario that we know today. It's a me. But he's not done working with Nintendo. He's still going to be working with them in a new ambassador role, whatever that means. He's probably just gonna.
I think that just means he can make appearances and use the characters. So
Yeah,
like he'll
I
still
think
do
so.
the Comic-Con circuits and stuff, and he can just sit there and maybe put up a sign of Mario and be like, I'm the voice of Mario.
Represent them.
Yeah.
He will not be voicing Mario in Super Mario Wonder, which comes out later this year. He's not involved in Wonder or WarioWare Move It because he's not just the voice of Mario. He's the voice of Luigi,
Mm-hmm.
Wario, Waluigi, the whole crew. They said we're excited to honor his legacy and contributions, including looking ahead to what he'll be doing as a Mario ambassador for the upcoming HD re-release of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. As it is a re-release, Charles's voice will appear in the game. So the voice that we're hearing in Super Mario Wonder is not him, it's somebody else, which I think it sounds like him. I don't think anybody really knew the difference. When that trailer came out, nobody thought. But my question is, hasn't there been so many? How many sound clips of Mario going "Wahoo" do you need?
Right.
Why can't they just reuse his voice for the next?
I imagine that
30
they will
years?
sometimes, like when applicable. I imagine they will. Like I'm not shocked at all if there's something in Wonder that's Charles Martinet. But
But
maybe
they just said he's not involved in Wonder.
I think I read that more as to say like he hasn't recorded any new things. They may probably if Nintendo just loves his Wahoo better than the other one, like I still think they could use bits and clips and things. I think they've got
Maybe.
sound drops for him that they can use if they want. But maybe they just re-record the whole thing. I mean, I don't see why that they would, but maybe they will. I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know.
they like the new person. I mean, it's not to take anything away from him for bringing, his take to the role, but like it's a role that's like easily mimicked, So I almost give him more credit that he set the style for Mario that I think other voice actors will emulate.
Right.
I don't think they're not going to be bringing their own flavor of Mario to Mario. They're going to be trying to do what Charles Martinet did. So
Right. Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, I think the
You
point.
can't change Mario's voice at this point.
Right. I think the point is the goal is that you don't notice it. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is sad, but I think he deserves to retire. He deserves to kind of do what he wants to do.
Been a long time.
Yeah, good guy. Good guy.
They also
He's very
probably
nice.
want-
I met him at
Oh.
Too Many Games
Wow.
last year or 2 years ago. I got a picture with him. Very nice
That's awesome.
guy.
Does
You
he
can
go
tell
to Too Many Games
really
every year?
loves- He has the past couple of years. Yeah.
Let me know if he goes next year and you go, because
Okay.
I would like to send you a copy of Runner and have him pin it for me. That would be great.
Yeah.
If anybody has never played the Runner series, I like it a lot. He's the narrator in Runner 2 and Runner 3, which is great. Like, it's a lot
You'd be
of
the
fun.
only person getting something signed that's not Mario or Skyrim.
And that's why it'd be cool to do it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's why. I do love the Runner series. Have you ever played it?
No, I've
It's
never
like-
even heard of it.
Oh, wow. Runner is like before it became like a thing on mobile, before this happened, it's like an auto runner. Like, you start every stage and it runs left to right side scroller. It's like on rails, but Rebecca, I think you actually might really like it actually.
I'll check it out. Let me go.
When it runs, you collect things, and as you collect them, it all hits the beat to the music. So it does little things to the beat, and like you slide and you jump and you hit my wife really enjoys Runner. It gets hard. Like, the more you play it, the harder it gets. Like, Runner 3 was pretty tough, but Runner 2 is amazing. And if you can get one of those games on the cheap, like Bit Trip Runner is usually like $1. You can get Bit Trip Runner on Switch all the time for like 50 cents. I think you might enjoy it, maybe.
Having trouble finding it. I type in Runner game and it's bringing me stuff like Subway Surfers, Temple Run,
Type in Runner
Jetpack
2.
Joyride.
Runner 2 Switch.
It looks weird.
It kind of does.
Like with like weird characters.
Yeah.
They look kind of like
It's a
Among Us
rhythm-based
characters.
platform game. It is kind of hard to find, isn't it? It's a little weird.
not a good name for it.
Yeah, maybe so. It's
Okay.
getting lost in the shuffle, but I like it a lot. I honestly can't recommend it to anybody
Yeah,
that likes,
yeah.
if you like rhythm games or you like platformers, if you've never played Runner, you should. It's really fun. And like I said, the Bit Trip Runners, those were the games that came out on Wii. Charles Martinet wasn't doing the voiceover for them back then. But the Bit Trip Runner games, you can buy like a whole bundle of them, honestly, for like $2.
Okay,
They're super cheap.
cool. Did not know that.
G-Man says Runner 2 on Switch. I don't know. Is it not? I know Runner 3 is, because I bought it when it came out. But did they never bring Runner 2 over? I just thought they did, because like all the Runner games are on Switch.
I saw
it's
Runner
not.
3 on Switch.
Maybe it's not. Maybe they didn't bring it over then. That might be my
Uh-huh.
bad. But you should get on PC then. Steam Deck.
Okay.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, so Nintendo had some games. Well, there were some Switch games featured at Gamescom that are coming out on the Nintendo Switch. Looks like, did you watch Gamescom? I did not watch it.
I did. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was the opening night live with Jeff Keighley, Rebecca, was awkward and cringy as hell. Like, it was amazing. It was
The only thing I saw was the couple guys storming the stage,
Yeah,
which is
of
not
course.
coul, by the way. It was only funny the first time. It's not funny when you do it the second time.
I told him, I said on PSVG now that I want them to, like, they need to spoof it. They need to make a joke out of it now before, like, it becomes a trend.
Yeah, right.
I think they should have, like, Devolver just, like, rush the stage and, like, announce a new game. But it was, even outside of that, though, it was so odd. There were so many moments where, like, people didn't know when to talk, or they're talking over each other, like really bad jokes. It reminded me of like what E3 used to be. And I'm not gonna lie, I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. This is insane that we're
You don't
still
get any
doing it
kind
like
of
this.
Secondhand embarrassment, cringe.
I think at this point I relish in it. Like, everything is usually so prepared and polished. Like, now I'm like going the opposite. Now I'm starting to enjoy it. I'm like, more of this.
Okay. We do have a couple highlights of games that are coming to Switch that were announced there. Fae Farm is coming out September 8th. I know a lot of people are excited about that one.
I was gonna ask you about, are you excited about that one?
No.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah,
It's not
it
my
does.
type of thing, but it does look like well done.
Yeah, I think if you're into farm sims, this is one to keep an eye on. I'm very picky about mine. But yeah, this is one to keep an eye on. Mortal Kombat 1. Again, bad name for a game. September 19th.
Also looks really good.
Yeah, it does look good. Sonic Superstars. This is Frontiers DLC. Wait, no, it's not. Wait, this is a different game.
Yeah.
Help me with the Sonic stuff.
Sonic Superstars is the new 2D, like classic new Sonic game. Like it's a new game starring Sonic in the way that you know and love and think of Sonic. Okay. And then Frontiers is getting DLC on the 28th of September. It's like their newest story expansion if you got Sonic Frontiers. And then Sonic Superstars comes out on the 17th. And the thing about Sonic Superstars, I believe, is that you can play as like Knuckles and Tails and everybody too. So like it's a like kid-friendly multiplayer platformer.
Cool. Little Nightmares 3 was announced, coming out next year sometime. Mandragoria. What is that?
Yeah, that's it's like kind of like a I want to say like a Souls-like Metroidvania. It looked pretty good. If you're looking, it's like kind of, I was getting the Castlevania vibes. Okay. If you're into that sort of thing. So yeah, if you like those sorts of things, give that one a look. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Expeditions Mudrunner also announced for next year.
Jeff is over the moon. There's a group of people that I've witnessed online, either in like YouTube recommendations or Reddit and things like that. You people love that SnowRunner game. Something about, I don't know, ice road truckers or whatnot. They're out here completing hauling missions. And yeah, people are stoked for Mudrunner. I got to give one of those a try one day because there must be something to it because people are like addicted to that stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Mm-hmm. And then just a couple of quick headlines before we get into this week's questions. They announced the next NSO game, Excitebike 64, is coming on August 30th to expansion subscribers. Are you a Excitebike fan?
Yes. And this might be the first game coming to like the 64 pack that like I was interested in playing. Playing online Excitebike sounds a lot of fun, but knowing that I would only play it for like a night, it still keeps me away from doing it. But I considered like buying a 1 month upgrade and just trying it, you know.
Do it.
But then I remember how much I hate the 64 controls on a regular Switch. Like you really need that 64 controller if you're going to play these things. Like I think it's almost mandatory.
Here's what you do. When the last of the Mario Kart DLC comes out, you upgrade for a month, try all the N64 games that you want to try, and try the Mario Kart DLC.
It's not a bad idea. But I already bought the Mario Kart DLC pass.
Oh. Yeah, and you haven't played it?
No, you know what? That's another thing that I played in my absence. I went and played that bathroom level. I did a cart with the kids, like we played.
Oh.
Yeah,
what'd you think?
I liked it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. Can I interrupt our headlines for a moment?
Of course.
Because I saw somebody in the chat, XBS said Frontiers is kind of like a Breath of the Wild clone, and it completely jogged my memory that I'm playing something at the moment that's not on Switch, but will be, I believe, soon. It's definitely Switch adjacent, as I'm playing an indie game called Chia. You remember that?
You tagged me in the picture with petting the kitty cat.
It's definitely my jam. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's definitely indie. It's like an indie version of Breath of the Wild. Like there's a lot of Zelda love here. Breath of the Wild and Wind Waker for sure. Even my wife, when she came and looked at it, she's like, it looks like Wind Waker. Mm-hmm. My wife said the music is Disney-like, and she said Encanto. I don't know what that means because I haven't seen it, but I thought I would say that here because I know other people, you know, that might get them excited. But I'm playing it on PC, and it's a lot of fun. It is, it's like the Breath of the Wild, like open air formula. Chia has the ability to possess objects, so she can transform into like a bird or a cat, and then you can do cat things, you can do shark things, you can do bird things, you can fly.
I remember when this was announced, I think we called it a mix between Wind Waker and Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, no, that's good. There is like a whole city exploration. I didn't realize that she can just go like Spider-Man and just crawl up buildings if she wants. It is like stamina based, has a stamina function from Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. It's a bit it's big for an indie game. Like it's big, like just expansive areas. It's a wide game. But that also means there's a lot of space where you're not really doing, it's like just traversal space. You're not doing a whole lot. Combat is interesting. You have to fight these creatures and you have to basically set them on fire. But you can't set them on fire. Like you have to possess like a candlestick or a log or a fire or something, and then like get set on fire and then like launch yourself into them and things. At first I was like, well, this is kind of clunky, but as you start to get used to like the movement, and I think the thing that really took me over is that you can possess like inanimate objects, like a rock. And for me, when I first did it, I didn't really realize that, well, yeah, you can be a rock, but like then the rock can move. And like, that's what took me a moment to get used to. I have to like keep reminding myself that even though I'm this stationary object, like I can just like roll around and move. Like I have agency. Once you start doing that, then the combat actually becomes kind of fast, and that becomes rewarding when you pull it off well and you start to like zip around and like, transform in and out of things and launch yourself. And then it becomes kind of fun. It's the possession mechanic it's very, Valhalla did this with their DLC. You could possess birds and elk and stuff like that and use their movement to traverse. So for an indie, it's impressive. It's very impressive. At times, though, it does feel indie. Like it feels.
I remember this game. Did this just come out recently, or are you playing it late?
I think I'm playing it late. I remember it came out on PlayStation Plus. Like it was just included. Like if you have PlayStation Plus, you just get the game for free. I think it's exclusive to PS5, but I think they announced that it's on the way soon to Switch and Xbox. I'm playing it on PC. I'm playing it on the Epic Store. And I'm enjoying it. And I mean, it is Breath of the Wild-ish for sure. Like you can then go and collect. It's very collectathon. It's very fetch questy, actually. It doesn't really have missions a whole lot. Like there are some of these combat missions, but there's not a lot of them. It's really fetch questy. It's like, hey, I need 2 clams to make this soup, and you go get it and stuff like that. But
I think it's hard to make a successful Breath of the Wild clone kind of game, especially for an indie studio.
For sure. I like this better than I like Immortals Phoenix Rising. This is a better job at that than that is. But it was definitely on my, like, I think I'll be playing this for a couple weeks and then doing my Cyberpunk thing. I think this would be the game I was playing, because when I first started playing it, like the first hour, I was like, I don't know about, like, it is kind of clunky, like the physics and things just kind of float. I was like, I don't know. And then the more I started playing it, the more I started possessed, like the more I started to get it, I was like, you know what? This is kind of awesome though. So I was really digging it.
You have patience. I drop games if I'm not.
I almost did. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. I almost did, actually. I played it first on the Ally. It did not run well on my Ally at all. It was pretty bummer. I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? Before I uninstall it, let me try it on the PC. And then I played it and for about an hour and a half. And I was like, I'll try it again. The next time I sat down to play it, which was last night, I played it for like 4 hours.
Nice.
Like, I just kept playing it.
You hit the sweet spot of the game.
Yeah, it was fun.
Nice. Also, some bad news for you in chat, that if you get the expansion pack, you can't get it for 1 month. You have to get it for a year.
Then that all but solidifies that I will not play Excitebike. But I live vicariously through y'all. I hope y'all do. I do enjoy. I have Excitebike on the 64. I could play it there. The idea of playing it online though sounds fun, because you could create tracks in Excitebike 64, and I presume the way that the 64 does its online is that like you're basically local. So I'd imagine like if I created a track, I could then just play it online with like Kyle the Bug and stuff. That sounds fun.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty cool thing that you can do in Excitebike 64 that like other NSO things don't really allow you to do. I think that's fun.
I'll have to check that out. I'll let you know how that is. More headlines. Denuvo, did I say that right?
You did.
Is now registered as an authorized Switch middleware provider. Could impact emulation. Tell me about this.
Okay, so Denuvo is a security anti-cheat. And what I know from them, and I do not know everything, but what I know from them is that they're used often in PC games, and specifically Capcom will use them a lot. And it sucks because they stop people from like emulating or sharing the game illegally or hacking or modding the game, which is like that's their right, but it usually comes at a performance cost, like a decent performance, like a measurable performance cost. It'll weigh down your game. You'll lose, like 10 FPS, 15 FPS, which was a big reason why people don't like it. The performance sucks, or it makes patching difficult. They have all kinds of patching issues for Denuvo. The way that I believe Capcom really deploys Denuvo is that they will launch their games with Denuvo enabled, and then like a year or two afterwards, they'll pull it out. But what this could do, because they could run this apparently at the code level in games, this could break people that are like playing Switch games on Steam Deck and Allies and stuff like that, because they could soon have checks for dumps where like if your game isn't running on Switch hardware, it disables it.
Wow.
It's possible to be done. So like Yuzu and all of that stuff might be having like, that sounds like what this is aimed at. This is aimed at stopping people from like leaking Switch games early and playing them illegally.
I'm surprised they haven't done this a lot sooner.
I'm surprised that that it's coming here and not like just launching with the next console. But this is the first security partner to come through and be a part of Switch's or Nintendo's development kit ever. So like this isn't like a small deal. Like this is a brand new partnership that they're putting into. And I hope, like, I'm really interested to know, like, I hope this doesn't like cause performance issues on Switch. Like if it's 1-to-1, like I don't know if that's even a thing because it's different hardware, but if it is, that would be, because the first I heard somebody say they're like, watch them put this in Pokemon. And I was like, oh God, like Pokemon games already have a hard time running. And they put Denuvo in it.
Do you think the amount of money that they're realistically losing from people emulating their games on other hardware is more than what they're going to be paying Denuvo to do this?
Probably. I don't think so, but I
Then
also
why do
think
it?
I think this is maybe more of a thing for Nintendo to like promise third parties and having the ability and the option to do it for them to support Switch. I think it might be more of it like that. Although I do expect that like Pokemon leaks all the time. Every Pokemon game leaks weeks early, right? When they dump it out there. When Pokemon, maybe. Like there might be enough people that are like, I'll just, rip this game off if I can, because you can either play it better, play it sooner, play it faster. But like Nintendo's mainline games, I don't think so. I don't think people are like, playing Kirby's Return to Dreamland, a whole lot. I think it's the big ones like Zelda. I think Zelda getting out there in the wild early probably gets, some thousand people doing it. But I think it's probably more for third parties. There's probably third party, like if the Switch is compromised, there's probably third parties that are like, I don't want to put my game on it. If 15% of my sales are going to be, pirated.
Okay. Maybe.
That's the best like excuse I could come up with, I guess, is maybe the better way of putting that.
Okay.
But no, to answer your question, no, I don't think this is outweighing the money lost.
Yeah. Because I know there's people that do it, but I feel like this is a huge undertaking for what's in my, like, yeah, they have the right to do it. I don't feel like it's such a big issue that they're losing millions and millions of dollars by not doing it.
Now, another thing that I think is worth saying is the first 4 years of the Switch, we didn't have Steam Decks and Allies and, all of those things. So maybe it's on the rise. Maybe they're trying to nip it in the bud.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Turok 3 Shadow of Oblivion Remastered is coming to the Switch on November 14th.
Stoked. So excited.
Nice.
I love Turok. I'll be buying that day one.
Cool. Turok. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope creative director David Soliani shares a personal message to all the fans on his Discord. He talks about what a dream come true it has been to be able to bring Rayman back to the spotlight, and how his mission is to be able to bring Rayman back to the glory he deserves. Word.
Do we get another Rayman Legends game? Rayman Legends 2? Is that what that
It would be
means?
cool to see another Rayman game. I really liked Rayman Legends. It's one of the few platformers that I really genuinely enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that they are reviving him in this way, so that maybe more people who were not Rayman fans before will be Rayman fans, and then they'll have more reason to make a new game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would support a new Rayman game.
Cool. In Japan, Pikmin 4 has been number 1 for the 5th week and has now sold 721,000 boxed copies. That's not including digital. It's the best-selling game in the series. We even knew. Love that game. Go buy it, go play it, go support it. It's beautiful. One of the most beautiful games on Switch.
They've sold almost 1 million physical copies in just Japan.
Yeah.
Like this game's gonna do a little bit better than I think people are hoping or expecting.
Good. It should.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Donnie, we're 2 days away from Sea of Stars.
How excited are you?
I'm very excited. It doesn't feel like it's that close. Of course, it is coming out the week that I start school. I probably won't get to play it until the next day on Wednesday. Possibly.
Are you playing on Switch? What are you playing on?
Yes. Yeah, playing on Switch. Yep. I'm going to take my time with this game. I think I'm going to stream it, but I haven't decided yet. I just really want to take my time with it and just like, I haven't really, like, I played the demo, but I haven't been watching the developer blogs or videos or anything like that. Like, I just want to go into it fresh. I want to just like have it be as close to the same experience of me playing Chrono Trigger was. I'm stoked. This is a beautiful game. I'm so excited.
Yarden says don't stream it.
Don't stream it.
I would think if you're playing on Switch, that like a big pull of it is that maybe you can play a little bit like at school in between breaks or on your lunch break.
No,
like
I can't do that.
Like
There's no such thing.
No.
Yeah, at home. There's no such thing as breaks in my job.
Oh no.
No.
Bummer.
No, I can't do that. No, because then you're eating lunch and then a kid walks in. Oh, Nintendo Switch! I play Mario. Let me play. Like, no, you can't do that.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I will gush about this game next week, Johnny. Be ready for it.
Can't wait. Maybe I can get Delvin to come back.
Is he gonna play it?
I think so.
Listen, you can, even if you're not playing it, you can let me gush about it.
Yeah, I can. I just don't know if I'm just not like the best person to bounce things off of. You know,
that's okay. You can tune it out as I'm
happy to listen. I'm happy to listen. You know what? I'll read some reviews and see if I can't like rummage up a question or something.
Okay.
I'll find some sort of feedback. I'll be like, Rebecca, tell me how much do you love Juliet the Purple Star or whatever, you know, like I'll come up.
I love it. Good. I'm looking forward to your question. Speaking of questions, we have some from our audience, directly from you. Hit us with some questions, Donnie.
Spagoop says, someone tells you they will give you $1 million if you stay in a small locked room with Tangle for 24 hours. Would you take the offer?
Absolutely.
Yeah, for $1 million.
That's not that bad. 24 hours is not that long.
Eric says, what are some great ideas for saving money to buy all these video games coming this fall? Switch actually has a lot of great releases coming up, whether they are new or older games. Money in a jar.
Eric.
Do you put aside money every week?
Blood transfusion. I think if you donate plasma.
Eric, it's time to put your feet pics on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Gotta get those Nintendo games up. I think the vouchers are the best way. Like, I have bought all my Nintendo games almost exclusively via vouchers like this year, outside of Tears of the Kingdom. So as long as they'll keep doing that, if you are a person that has to go physical, then Best Buy has like a similar program. Best Buy, if you join their rewards tier, even at the lowest tier, which I think is $50 a year, you get buy two, get one free on all Switch games just as a member, like indefinitely. So
I think Walmart for every first party Switch game does $50 pre-order.
It's $10 off the whatever the price is. Yeah. Yep.
So don't pay $60, pay $50 at Walmart.
I use the Best Buy one to pick up I'm in on Wonder, WarioWare, and that means I got Metal Gear for free. So, and I like
deal.
that because that applies to third-party games. It's like all games. So.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm. Trade in your old stuff. G-Man says, if you could have Bugs Bunny on the show, what would he think about Nintendo?
Not enough carrots.
That's probably fair. What's up, Doc? John32 says, which Switch exclusives deserve a sequel? Not necessarily first party only.
This is Mario Odyssey.
And I'm going to Google something because my answer to this is and always will be Astral Chain, but I want to give you a different answer. So I'm going to
New
look up-
Pokemon Snap.
Oof.
Don't oof me.
Oof.
You would play it.
I mean, I would like them to make a sequel and it'd be better. Sure. A better one sounds great. Oh man, could you imagine if I said Game Builder Garage? Remember that?
Let's go Pikachu and Eevee. The sequel
That's-
deserves to be Johto.
That's good. No,
That's my answer.
That's a better answer.
That's the answer.
I'll take yours and I'll raise you Kirby in the Forgotten Land. It was so good. Just give us another one. Just do that again. Favorite Kirby game. That's very good. That works. Kyle the Pug says, who are your top 3 favorite game show hosts of all time?
Rest in peace, Bob Barker.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a top 3, but my favorite is always will be Alex Trebek.
Of course.
He
He's
was
the best.
Like
No.
my TV grandfather. He was on my TV every night growing up.
Yeah, no, I like that one. That would probably be mine as well. Let's see here. Pat Sajak,
No.
Bob Barker, Steve Harvey.
No.
Yeah, none of these are as good as Alex Trebek. It's just, that's it. That's the one. Nick says, what non-first party game are you most excited to play on Nintendo Switch this year?
Sea of Stars.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only, besides, well, I don't know. I think there's other indies coming out this year that I'm getting, but that's the one that's obviously on my radar right now.
I'm trying to think. I don't know how many I still have on my to-do list. Metal Gear, I mean, I'm going to be getting Metal Gear. But I don't think I have a whole lot of Nintendo indies on my wish list, but maybe I might. It's possible. And Discord and tagged me because it is Punch Out and it looks awesome. And throw that on my upcoming indie game for Switch this year. But non-first party game would be Metal Gear. I'll probably get Sonic Superstars on the cheap, I imagine, when it goes on sale at some point. Oh, no, that's not it at all. Non-first party game. That would be, my mind just went completely blank. Prince of Persia. 100%.
That's this year?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't. December, January,
it's-
something like that.
I think it's January. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I guess that wouldn't count. But that would be my most excited.
Yeah, I'm going to get that too.
Yeah. Martin says, who would win in a fight between Kratos or Akuko from the Zelda series? The God
Are
of
we
War.
talking a single Kuko or like a flock the way they attack?
I mean, he
you?
says a Kuko, but we all know that if you hit a
Yeah.
Kuko,
The whole
to
flock
fight
comes.
one
That's
Kuko
true.
is to fight all Kuko. And
True.
I mean, Kuko's god tier. Like that's
True.
that's.
They just keep coming at you till you're dead.
I mean, that's the immortal enemy from Zelda. Like Ganondorf
Can't
has
run.
nothing on Kuko,
Can't run, can't hide.
so he could be the god of war, but I don't think that still is a tier below Kuko.
True.
Gamer Guy Lou says, as we seemingly near the end of the Switch's life cycle, what are your personal top 5 games from the Switch and why?
I
not
should have
prepared
thought
for
about
this.
this question. Yeah.
Not prepared for this question at all.
I think I did rank my favorites when the Switch turned 6. What was that this year? I don't even know. Let me see if I can find that.
I'm gonna pull up Metacritic's top Switch games of all time. Although I don't think that's gonna help me a whole lot because my games are not gonna be like this at all. All right. In no particular order, because I haven't thought this through, I will say Breath of the Wild, Luigi's Mansion 3, Astral Chain gets me 3 of them. My last 2, I'm torn because I want to say things like Smash Brothers, just because of how incredible and big and awesome it is. But like, it's not my personal favorite game. I wish I had a list of like all the games that I played.
I have mine.
Go.
This is not in any particular order. Tears of the Kingdom, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Metroid Dread, Live Alive, and Splatoon 2.
That's a really good list.
Thank you.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, like I'm having a hard time because so many of like the big first party standout games are like Wii U games, which I'll kind of omit, you know, like off the front end, because it's like they're great games, but they also were like on other systems.
Mm-hmm.
So Breath of the Wild, Astral Chain, Luigi's Mansion 3. It's really going to bother me. And I don't know. Fire Emblem Engage, and we'll say Death's Door. Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure.
I was going to say Tears of the Kingdom, but I don't know how I'd feel on that one.
Wow.
You know, looking back on it. Same thing for like
Pikmin?
Odyssey. I haven't finished it yet. It could be there. It could be there. It came
Dread?
to mind. I mean, Dread's a great game. Just not necessarily my favorite game. I wanted to stick more to my favorites. I was even thinking like Streets of Rage. I could have put Streets of Rage in there. Because I played that. For me, I played that first and on Switch. So when I think about it, I think of Switch. Streets
Mario
of Rage
Rabbids
4.
1?
It's pretty incredible. Good call. Very good call. Yeah, so I'll
I know
take
you
Death's
love
Door
that
off of
one.
there and I'll throw that in there. Yeah. No, that's a good call. Thanks for reminding me of that one.
Yeah.
So Fire Emblem Engage, Breath of the Wild, Astral Chain, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle with the DLC, the Donkey Kong stuff. For sure. Very good. Very good.
Good.
Next question. Jay. Or no, that's not the next question. I already read past that one. Next question. Smoke and Joe. What are some realistic Switch 2 launch titles?
3D Mario.
Yeah, I mean, that feels like a given at this point. Do you give any pause like them launching them back-to-back years? I don't think that matters at all. Right? Yeah, I didn't think so.
No. Because it's
I think a
2D
new-
Mario.
I think a new kart game will be shown with the new system,
Maybe.
but I don't think it'll be
I think-
there on launch day.
I think they're going to milk this DLC. They've put a lot of work into it. I could maybe even see them putting Smash Ultimate. Everything is here
The compendium.
as a launch title.
I could see them doing that.
Like
They could do like a new
the-
special
the
edition,
game
a new
with-
collector's edition,
with
and
all
stuff.
of the DLC
Yeah, I could see that
for
being a thing.
$70.
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna tangent off the question a little bit. Do you think we're gonna have a Switch like launch where there's like 4 games, or do you think they'll have a lot of games?
I think there will be like, I think 4 is generous. I think there's going to be like 1 or 2 new exclusive games, and I think it will be backwards compatible with Switch
Yeah, I
games.
guess backwards compatibility makes up a huge difference on that. Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think of
1
that.
or 2 exclusives.
Assuming it's backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Could they have? I think they will have something. I don't know what it'll be. I want to say Xenoblade because it just sounds right, but I think they will have something like a Xenoblade or an Astral Chain 2 or something. They're going to have something like that. I don't, it's not, time isn't right for Bayonetta. Probably Xenoblade. Like I would imagine. They'd have something like that. Maybe an export or something.
Mm-hmm.
If those Zelda ports are coming, I don't think they would launch a new system with those. They'll hang on to those for a rainy day.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Donkey Kong is out there, but they wouldn't do that next to a 3D Mario game.
No.
Not unless it's like a 2D or something weird.
I could see like a 2D Donkey Kong being like within the first 6 months.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. A Kirby game? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of like the Switch has already kind of gone through and had so many sequels of things. I was like, what have they gone through that they could bring back? Like it's way too soon for anything Splatoon, right? But like they've done this before and often.
We're still waiting for the DLC for Splatoon 3.
Like, could that possibly line up where they like
supposed to be this year, but we haven't heard anything.
Is there any way they'd hold that? And like they'd launch like Splatoon 3 with the DLC and stuff on the new system?
That'd be weird because you'd have to be able to let people who have the game on Switch be able to buy and play it.
Yeah, no, I think they'll still release the DLC
okay.
in Old Wing, but like they kind of like put it in like the launch graphic.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe like a set bonus or something if you get it on the new Switch.
I feel like I'm missing something
gear.
that's like there's got to be something that's like right in our face that's like begging to come out. Metroid? Yeah, Metroid.
I don't think that would be a launch title, but I think that would be a year one title. I think we're getting that in 2024 or 2025.
Prime 4? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. I think I could see it. Well, I'm assuming Switch 2 launches in, I don't know, September 2024. So by then, 3D Mario, Metroid Prime, that's like they use Prime to like show off the system and the graphics and stuff, and it's a hardcore game, you know, and like they get a Japanime game in there somehow, like an RPG or a Xenoblade or something, and maybe a Final Fantasy port. Like, is there a Final Fantasy that could be ported to Switch 2? Final Fantasy 7 or something?
No idea.
If Switch 2 is capable of running PS4 games, then yeah, I think you could get like a Final Fantasy 7 port, and I think that'd be a big deal. Right?
Okay.
They put Cloud and Smash, right?
Yeah.
Trying to think
I don't know if it
like
would be a
that.
launch title. Like, I feel like they want to put, like, that's too much. Maybe.
Because like
kind of
something
goes,
like
here's-
Final Fantasy 7, and I hate that I'm even sticking up for Final Fantasy, but I think the timing makes sense. Final Fantasy
Both,
7
like, we have third-party support.
could be what to Switch 2 what Skyrim was to Switch.
Yes.
That's in my head. I'm like,
Yeah.
what can I find that like?
Because I remember
connects
that was like
dots?
after the Wii U, that was a big deal. Like
Yeah.
people don't like nowadays. We're like, oh yeah, of course there's third parties on the Switch, but no, like Skyrim on the Switch was like, whoa,
was a
we're
big deal.
getting real third parties again.
There are a few games that could solve that role. We could see a Star Wars game on Switch. We could see Final Fantasy. We could see GTA. Like if all of a sudden GTA 5, you know, like it's something like that. There's a lot of games like Call of Duty. There's a lot of games that could fill like that void.
After Red Dead Redemption 1 came out on Switch, The Last of Us.
What? The Last of Us? I thought
Remember
you meant...
we were saying I think me and Delvin were talking about how like they are milking that franchise for the TV show, and if they're putting Red Dead on Switch, they could put The Last of Us 2 because not 2, but the first one.
Sure. Well,
because
Red Dead's
they wanna get
Rockstar,
it-
not PlayStation though.
No, I know.
Okay. Because when you were like, they did Red Dead, and I'm like shaking my head, I'm like, Red Dead 2. Yeah, like it totally makes sense. Like, but Red Dead Redemption 2.
I mean, yeah, sure, that too. I foresee them milking The Last of Us as much as they can.
I'd be shocked to see PlayStation support a Nintendo game at all.
That would be so fun.
If you call that, if this turns out to be true, which I have no doubt it will not, but if it does, I will buy you dinner. Like this would be the most call your own shot out of the blue home run Like we will
Buy me
clip,
The Last of Us on Switch, on Super Switch.
we will clip this and shove it down everybody's
heard it here
throats on
first.
socials.
Hell
Rebecca's
yeah.
like, I've got inside information, guys. The Last of Us 1 remake is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
I think they're gonna milk once season 2 comes out. They're gonna milk this even harder.
I know what it's going to be. I know what it's going to be. I just looked at my list and I saw Nier Automata, which came to Switch. And now I'm thinking the game in my head that I think it's going to be Elden Ring. Switch is going to launch the 3D Mario, Metroid Prime 4, and Elden Ring is on Switch. And you can play it in portable form.
And you think my idea is outlandish?
You know, I think my idea is way more possible than your idea.
Okay, this better be a beefy system.
Well, Elden Ring, you know, I didn't say it was going to be great. I just said it's going to be there. Oh, Diablo 4. Good call. I Can't See says Diablo 4. Yeah, absolutely. I can see Diablo being there. 100%. Overwatch. There are several, I think, third-party games that might want to show up for Switch 2 in a way that they didn't show up for Switch 1. And I think all of those make sense. So good call. Look at here, Jules. Jules is with me. Elden Ring on Switch would be incredible. And it's such like a niche, because that game is already released and been released, and they have like the expansion. And then I can only imagine after all of that, they put it on Switch and we go through a whole new year of Elden Ring. It becomes a whole new thing again. Oh man, I could totally see that happening. 24 FPS as we as we're going to get accustomed to with the Metal Gear games apparently. I'm at a loss for this one. Mathician? Is that the name?
Mathesian.
Mathesian?
Mathesian.
I thought it was like it's like
Mathesian.
mathematician, but without the "ma" in the middle.
Mathesian.
Mathesian. He asks, "Will there be a September Direct?"
Yeah, there's been a September Direct like every day for or every year for the past like 10 years.
Have they? That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm keeping up with which months have directs and stuff anymore, but yeah, I think so. They've got Mario Wonder to blow up. They probably have some indie games to announce. They want to get more eyes on WarioWare.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Splatoon DLC, we need to know. DLC. We
have Kart Tracks.
This would be a good opportunity for them to maybe show part 1 of the Tears of the Kingdom DLC.
We have Amiibo to launch.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Direct makes sense. And then the last question for today's show, this week's show, comes from TPR. He says, what did Delvin bring to Shaq that you didn't know you wanted?
The positivity, the charm, the humor. I love Delvin.
The lack of knowledge.
No, he was knowledgeable. He was a fantastic
The lack
co-host.
of Nintendo insight.
And I will be very happy when he comes back again.
The knowledge of Petey Pablo. He brought Petey Pablo to Shaq.
He did. Yes, he did. He
I can't believe you
teach
didn't know
some things. No, why would I know that?
No, I know that. When he brought that up to Dev, he was like, man, she didn't know. He was like, why would she?
There is no reason why I would have any idea.
All right.
Yeah, Delvin can come back to Shaq anytime. The door is open in the shack.
The chair's open. I told him it's his. You just take it. I could just go. There's none necessary.
No. I don't want you to go. I want him to come.
My favorite thing that Delvin brought to Shaq is us starting at 11 instead of 10. If you can't tell, there's a huge difference in my demeanor from 10 to 11 Yes.
Should we do that? Because I woke up at like 10:04 and I'm like, are we doing it at 11? Because I'm still asleep.
Yeah, I think 11 works better and more of my thing. I get to watch the F1 race before we started today this morning. The F1 race was insane. It was chaos from the.
Oh my God! What happened?
From the moment it started, Rebecca. From the moment it started.
Who won?
I don't know. They were in a rain delay when I left. I think Max won. Max probably won. But here's the thing. They started the race. Here's the thing. They started the race. After lap 1, huge torrential downpour happens.
Oh no!
Everybody, the people going into the walls. Everybody's got to change
Oh my
tires.
God.
Then they
That
came back
changes
out.
everything.
Yep. And then it dried off. And then they had to change tires again. And then guess what happened, Rebecca?
What?
It rained again. And they had
Oh
to
my
do it all
God.
over again.
Ah! The
The crowd is absolutely lit. They're playing techno music and they're chanting. They got ponchos. I was like, this is great. This is
They're
the
not
most
letting it rain on
entertaining
their
rain
parade.
delay I've ever
Wow.
experienced in my life. Like, this makes for great television.
Nice.
They were having a ball. They were having a blast. It was a lot of
Well,
fun.
Donnie, the reason why I overslept today was because I was up late watching a live stream of Taylor Swift the Eras Tour in Mexico City, Mexico. Do you know what surprise songs she did last night?
Stairway to Heaven.
No.
Damn it.
The first one that she did was Cornelia Street. Do you know the implications of that? It was great. And then the second
what that
surprise
is.
song that she did was You're on Your Own Kid, which is the only song, the surprise song that she has done 3 times so far. It was amazing. They really lucked out. That was one of the best shows you could have gone to.
I need her to record like a rock cover album.
Yeah.
Then I'll be
She-
interested.
She would.
She'd be awesome.
I'll send you a song that like a live performance of hers that she does kind of like in a rock style that
I think
you
I've
would
seen
like.
that one.
Yeah, you might have.
My wife has sent me one. She does one where she's got like a guitar and like she
Mhm.
really like riffs the chord. And I was like, now this I could get into. This I could listen
She
to.
like does her hair flip. Yeah. She gets
That'd be
into it.
awesome. How long until like doesn't she always bring like some local guest out to sing a song with her in her shows?
Not always.
Oh.
Not on this tour. Her last tour she did that.
So I need a tour like that, but where every concert's like a new rock song.
Mm,
You know,
Yeah.
she just sings a new rock song with somebody. That'd be awesome.
yeah. Yeah, that's what her every tour of hers has a gimmick. Her Reputation tour, she had another artist join her for a song every single show, and it was always a surprise who it was going to be.
That's what I remember. I remember that was like a thing, and it was everybody was talking about what is she going to do next.
Yep.
So I told my wife, "Did you tell me what you think of this? Have you seen any of this like Britney Spears stuff?
Yes, I have actually.
Because she's having like a mental breakdown apparently."
No, she's not. She is not
What?
having a mental breakdown. She's getting a divorce from her husband.
Oh, is she?
She is doing great.
Okay. Because
I
my wife,
stand by Britney.
my wife sends me these clips and stuff, and I'm like, "What's happening?" Her
no,
mascara's running, her hair's all over the place, like she's dancing
no,
around.
No, she's doing great. She is in a good spot right now.
Okay. All right. That is not what
We
I've
love
been
Britney.
informed, but
We
I love
love
Britney
and
too.
support Britney Spears on this podcast.
I think she needs the support. That's
Yes.
what it looks like.
No, she's doing just fine.
All right.
She don't
Alright.
need no toxic men in her life, like her
Mm.
dad or her ex-husband. We don't need any of that negativity. Yeah,
Okay.
leave Britney alone.
I didn't say anything. I was just asking. Jesus.
Yeah, she's good. That's a quote. That's like an old Britney quote.
Oh.
Like it's supposed to be like leave Britney. No, never mind. We love Britney. She's fine.
Okay. That's it. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. In that case, stay tuned for next week when I bring you my first impressions of Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars. Get
Sea
excited.
of Stars.
Big show.
Yeah, get excited. Enjoy everybody who's playing it. Wish me luck meeting my kindergartners this week. And we will see you guys next week at 11 a.m. for the live show.
Peace.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. This is Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening. And I forgot the line already. What?